Okay, wonderful. So we are here. This is a little free class called Gateway to Tai Chi. Why? Because that's the coolest sounding title I could come up with. Um, we can workshop it later, but here's my inspiration. And then if you want, you're welcome at this time to pop in the chat box. If you have any particular inspiration or desire for this next 40 minutes of like something you would like to see covered or to participate in, you're welcome to pop that in. But for me, since almost a year now, have had this little online space called the Tai Chi Academy Online, and a small but mighty student body in there. Mostly small because I haven't marketed it or anything. It's just been like, hey, my friends, you guys want to do Tai Chi? Okay, well, here it is. And in there, so far, I've done this model of running kind of little mini courses. So we did, 8 weeks on this and 4 weeks on that and such. And this next upcoming course is for beginners. So I am finally uh, established enough in that little platform I'm building to say, hey, come learn Tai Chi for the very first time, not just my friends and family, but those of you who would like to get in and learn this art of longevity and flow. Um, Here's a space for you. So today is a little free introductory class, both to welcome people to explore that option to participate in that and to kick it off. We are going to do some Tai Chi today together and learn the fundamentals of learning such a process, some of the stumbling blocks that get in the way, and some ways to surmount them. So, if you're interested in that, drop me a little emoji with your hand or your computer to let me know that you're in the right class and I don't have to find a different link for you. And then we'll get on. Yay! Okay, I love an emoji. This is one of my secrets of online education is I ask people for little emojis and then we stay connected. So most excellent. So we're here for about 40, 45 more minutes, and we're going to do some physical practice, some subtle body inner practice, and then some chatting. So let's get started with some physical practices. Are you ready? Fiona, are we ready?
Fashion,
Yeah.
I've got my volume totally up on the computer. Is there somewhere in Zoom to
Oh,
make
let me
it
check
louder?
my settings. One moment. Input volume. They keep turning down my input volume.
Ah, okay,
How
great.
about now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
that the dulcet tones of Sifu Fajun? Excellent. Uh, Great. I appreciate that. And these are things, if anything goes haywire with the tech, sometimes we'll be kind of like meditating and grooving. So interrupt softly, but please do interrupt because everybody probably needs to know the same thing. The other thing, I'll be demonstrating most of these practices standing. You are welcome to modify them. You can do all of this stuff sitting or even lying down if you were not feeling well and you wanted to gain the benefits of moving the chi, moving the meridians. You could do these practices lying down. When we do these big shoulder movements, if you have a hurt shoulder, you could do a little shoulder movement. So, full permission to modify these practices. Two rules for my class. Rule number one, have fun. Rule number two, don't hurt yourself. So, find a version that works for you somewhere within those rules and guidelines, let's say. Um, and yeah, let's have a little fun. So, if you'd like, please come to standing. We'll do a little breath and movement. So, adjusting the camera. Move number one. Lohan adjusts camera. So we start every class with 3 big breaths. So taking your feet into a shoulder width position, and we're just going to inhale and reach up toward the sky. Exhale through the mouth and drop all the way down. These mouth exhales are to help release tension. So let's do it again. Breathing in, reach up. Breathing out, all the way down. And one more time, inhale. And exhale down. Good. Relax your hands at your sides. Relax your gaze down to reduce distractions. We practice 1 minute mindfulness. So pausing for a moment just to be aware of the body and just notice in your body the good, the bad, the neutral. Trying to find yourself in the seat of the observer. So, greetings, body. It's nice to be living as you. How are you today? Then take a moment to be aware of your breath. Notice where you can feel your inhales and where you can feel your exhales. And then finally, take a moment to be aware of your mind. Just like we did with the body, notice pleasant thoughts and uncomfortable ones and neutral ones as well. Or maybe there are gaps between the thoughts and you can notice the silence. Pausing for a brief moment to notice all three together: body, breath, and mind. And then when you're ready, take a big breath and let it out with a sigh. And let's begin some movement with our joint opening sequence. So bringing the hands up, and we're going to start by circling our wrists. We do about 10 of these movements for each joint. So let's call that 9, 10, and then reverse. And then switch to your elbows. The elbows are going to make circles inward. And then reverse and circle them outward. Okay, take your shoulders and roll them back. Inhale up and then exhale down. 2, 3, 4. And one more time. 5. Then reverse it. Inhale forward and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then we're going to swim. So let's swim backwards. And while we do this, have a sense of opening that shoulder joint and also beginning to awaken and open the waist and the spine. Breathing naturally on this one. You can turn your head and follow the hand as you look back if you like. Good. Then let's swim it forward. And relax down. Hands to your hips. Take one ear and stretch it up toward the sky. Then inhale, bring it back. And take the other ear and stretch it up toward the sky. Inhale back to center. Exhale, stretch your ear toward the sky. Inhale back. Exhale, other side. And back to the center. Then let's rotate. Take your head and look back one direction. And then inhale. And exhale to look back in the other direction. And then inhale. Exhale the first way. Inhale back. And exhale the second way. And inhale back. Stack your head up nice and tall. And as if you could move on just the top joint where your spine meets your neck, take a small circle with your head. Then reverse, go the other way. And relax. Okay, picking the fruit, hands up. We're going to reach up with one hand on the exhale, and then inhale back. Reach up with the other hand, and inhale back. Exhale, first side, Inhale back to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale back to center. One more set. Here we go. Last time. And bring it home. Then let's twist the body and reach across. And inhale center. Then reach across. And inhale center. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale. One more set. Last time. And back. Bring your hands down and make a big hoop shape with them. And then we're going to inhale and circle that circle up. And then exhale, circle it down on the other side. Here we go. Two. And down. And three. And down. Let's reverse directions. Inhale up the other side. One. And down. Two. And three. And relax. Hands to your hips. Let's circle those hips around one way. And then reverse. Take it in the opposite direction. Okay, take your feet together, hands to your knees if you can, and circle those knees one direction. For this one, if you need to, if balance is a challenge, you could do this holding on to a wall. If it's hard to bend, you could do that standing up or even sitting down and just circling one knee at a time. Okay, switch the other direction if you haven't. And then stand up. Let's take one foot, step it behind you, circle your ankle. As the ankle circles, we're letting the whole leg move. The whole body is loosening up. It's kind of the culmination of the rest of these loosening exercises. And then reverse direction. And then we'll switch feet and switch directions. And relax. Let's take those feet down shoulder width. And once again, we'll do our 3 breaths, pulling down to heaven. So we're going to inhale to reach up, exhale through the mouth, all the way down. Two more. And one more. Once again, 1 minute mindfulness. Relax your hands at your sides, relax your gaze downward. Scan the body and notice how it feels. And notice any changes between when we checked before and now after doing those exercises. Are there any new sensations? Or any of the previous sensations changed or morphed in any way? And take note of your breath. Where can you feel the inhales and the exhales? And take note of your mind. When you're ready, take a big breath in. Let it out with a sigh. And relax. Okay, very good. Our first task accomplished for the day. Come in for a moment and just tell me, what do you notice after doing those exercises? Did anything change for you after doing our warm up sequence between the before and the after? I can tell you what changed for me. One of the classic ones is I felt like a fuzzy sensation around my hands. Does anybody get the fuzzy sensation when they do their exercises? So this is a classical one. They say, "Oh, that's your chi." Well, I don't know if it's chi, but it's cool. So that's cool, is what I will say to you. And chi just meaning life force or vitality. I do think that's a sign of increased vitality, more aware of the body and feel more balanced. Yeah. Any others? It's okay if you're just here to lurk and not say anything out loud. No problem. A little more aware of my breath. Yeah. Yeah. So very good. So this is our initial sequence, and the first little principle is no pains or aches. Yeah. So sometimes my favorite, even though we're supposed to be like mindful and not have favorites, but my favorite is you'll do the thing, and then all of a sudden your aches and pains will go away, and it's really quite cool. In some of the ancient traditions, they call these like wind gate exercises or something like that because they believe these joints are like gates of the meridian or chakra system. And so when you go through and sequentially open them all up, it balances the flow of this vitality so that the parts where it was stuck or the parts where it were lacking get all flushed out, and then the aches and pains kind of chill down for a little while, which is quite nice. Came into myself. Excellent. Wonderful. Mudge, you made it. Nice to see you. So these are our opening exercises, and the first principle I want to share with you in the gateway to Tai Chi is called Make It Your Own. So these exercises, the way we're doing them is half drawn from my teacher and half drawn from all my other teachers, and then what I wanted to do and what makes sense for me. Because I got my certificate now, so I'm allowed to make up Qigong exercises. Um, and I want to pass that blessing on to you. As long as you follow the two rules, number one, have fun. Number two, don't hurt yourself. You can make up these exercises any doggone way you want. Um, what's nice in this, there are two principles. One is that according to like the acupuncture map of the body, we're going from the top to the bottom. So we start up here from our branches, and then we go all the way down into our roots. So for some folks, this is why they feel that after doing this exercise, they're more in their body or the mind calms down. I noticed that with my thoughts were cooled out a little bit. Um, so you could design your system. Maybe your wrist circles, you're like, whatever, but you love doing little finger exercises or something like that. Okay, so start with your finger exercises then. Gosh darn it. And then maybe from your ecstatic dance teacher, you have this really cool elbow wing thing that you like. Put in the doggone elbow wing thing. And the trick is to make it your own. This is the same principle as if you're working with injuries, if one shoulder doesn't want to stretch. So, in our path of learning Tai Chi, starting, as the Tao Te Ching says, the path of 1,000 li starts beneath your foot, right? So, taking that first footstep, uh, even if you're an experienced Tai Chi practitioner, taking that first footstep, I would suggest take a principle of making it your own. Do it in a way that works for you. And that really allows you to do it in a way that works for your real life. So you can put these Tai Chi exercises before the rest of your workout. You can put them before your dance. You can put them before you meditate. One of my best favorite iterations of this was one of the folks in the PT rehab program, and we changed the name of these exercises to football exercises because he liked to watch a lot of football. And so his task was anytime a commercial came on, he would do one of his favorite or least favorite exercises for the duration of the commercials. And when he started doing that, within weeks, his progress skyrocketed because he made them his own. He didn't have to do Tai Chi, he just had to do football exercises. So, step one, make it your own. Okay, let's do step two. Keep it simple, sweetie. So, a little more practice. We're up and down a little bit because, I want to talk to you, but I also want to do some movement practice. So, let's do a little more movement practice together. Again, standing or seated, I will practice this standing. And we're going to do a little bit of practice from the Tai Chi ball Qigong. So for this one, you're going to make your hands as if you have an invisible ball between them. And the first exercise is very easy. It's for regulating the breath and also enlivening the sensitivity in your hands. This is very good for like massage therapist types and those folks. So what all you're going to do is you're going to inhale and expand your hands open. And then you exhale and you bring them back until you're holding that small ball again. You could almost imagine like when you inhale, you're inflating a big ball between your hands. And when you exhale, you're sort of deflating it or compressing that ball between your hands. So we inhale and we open it up. We exhale and we shrink it down. And then if you'd like one further step, place your awareness right in the center of your hands. So obviously you're still aware of the room, you're aware of me leading the movement, but a good portion of your awareness is just feeling the sensations in the palm of your hands as they move out and in. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. Inhaling to open, exhaling to condense. Let's do 3 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Did we get all 3? Let's do one last one just in case I counted wrong. And bring it in. And we're going to do rolling the moon. So you're going to inhale in this position. And then as you exhale, let's take your right hand on top, your left hand on bottom, and you're holding the ball in this way. Then you inhale back to that neutral center position. And you exhale, you roll the left hand on top and the right hand on bottom. Inhale, neutral. And exhale. This posture is called embracing the moon, as if you had the light of the sphere of the brilliant moon between your 2 hands. Exhaling to roll. Inhaling to neutral. Exhaling to roll. Inhaling through neutral. Exhaling to roll. Inhaling through neutral. Exhaling to roll. And inhaling through neutral. One more time. And then let's add a little stretch. So we're going to reach out with those hands as we turn. And we're going to exhale, bring it back and catch the moon at the torso. So we inhale, reaching out as you turn. Exhale, bring it back and catch the moon at the torso. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bring it in and catch. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bring it in and catch. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bring it in and catch. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bring it in and catch. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Then we're going to take our hands and place them as if on a cloud. And then we let the cloud float all the way down. You can bring your hands to your sides and we'll just do a very quick version of that minute mindfulness. So this is a half-minute mindfulness. Just pause and scan the body, breath, and mind. This lets you know how the exercises are affecting you. And it's also training us to come back to that seat of the observer, to root ourselves in being, shifting back from doing and thinking into the being mode. Okay, then we're going to do a fun exercise. So in this one, your one hand is going to go up and the other hand is going to go down. And we're going to work on turning the waist and shifting our weight. So as you shift to your left, my right, but you can mirror me if you'd like, we're going to shift and this down facing hand is going to chase the up facing hand as my waist turns. Then they flip over And I'm going to turn my waist to the other side. And you'll see my hands are kind of making like an infinity symbol here, a letter 8 on its side. And then I turn. So the direction I'm going, the palm is face up, and then the other palm is chasing it, palm down. So turning the waist, and then let's shift the weight a little bit. I'm going to actually step my stance out a little wider so I can really feel the weight shift to one side and then shift to the other side. Shift to the first side. Shift to the second side. So if you are in a wider stance, this is a great exercise for beginning to strengthen the legs, pump some circulation through those knees and ankle joints. And traditionally, this is also for strengthening the waist, bringing circulation through a very important acupuncture channel called the belt vessel, which is said to benefit the kidneys and the reproductive system and help resolve low back pain and all kinds of stuff. Okay, let's add the breath. So on this little change, you're going to breathe in and then you're going to breathe out as you flow across. So you breathe in as you change and you breathe out as you flow across. In and out. And in this one, it's a slightly shorter inhale and a longer exhale. Then we're going to change the exercise just slightly. Let's do this one more. And now instead of chasing the palms, what's going to happen is you're going to let your arms kind of reach out and then they're going to pull across. So just a slightly different shape. So I let my arms kind of fling themselves out and then I'm going to pull back across. So inhale, you let yourself fling. Exhale and you pull. Inhale and fling. Exhale and pull. I'm still shifting my weight and turning my waist to make the movement happen. And then my arms are kind of like they're floating through the water. So you want a nice seaweed quality to those arms. Let's do one more on each side. Last time. And then once again, we're going to place those hands onto a cloud and float the cloud all the way down. Arms at your side. Pause for just a brief check in. Drop into that being mode. Good. And relax. So, one thing you may notice is Tai Chi is filled with imagery and poetry. We're rolling the moon and we're inflating the ball and we are, oh, what was the one? Oh, the cloud. We're descending the cloud. So, this is partially just to teach students how to do the movements correctly, but there's also something in that the poem, because the feeling part of ourself relates to art and poetry best, that's this old school way of teaching the body how to intuitively get that movement into your system. Let's do one more of these exercises. And for this one, you're going to take your Tai Chi stance. So your left foot's going to point forward, your right foot is back and it's pointing off at about a 45-degree. And then we can just practice shifting back and shifting forth in this easy Tai Chi stance. Okay, to start this one, your rear hand, so that's going to be your right hand is on top near your heart. Your lead hand is on the bottom near your tummy. This is that embrace the moon posture. And for this movement, we're going to roll that lead hand up as if I'm holding this invisible ball now with the left hand forward. And then you shift forward and you're just going to push that ball forward. Then as you come back, that's the same move we just did. This right hand turns palm up and you're just going to shift and pull, just like we did in the previous exercise. Then we roll the hands up and push forward. We turn that right hand palm up and we pull back. So here we are exhaling as we shift forward, inhaling as we pull back. Exhaling as we shift forward. Inhaling as we pull back. Exhale and inhale. And once you feel like you've kind of got it, try to let yourself drop into kind of that flowful, meditative mood. So you're just riding the breath like an ocean wave, washing in and washing back out. Let's do three more on this side. Two and one. And then we're going to go out one more time so that we can bring our hands to the cloud in the front and then float it all the way down. Same thing on the other side. So right foot pointing out, left foot at a 45 behind you. Check and make sure you can just shift your weight back and forth in this easy Tai Chi stance. We'll start from embracing the moon with the left hand, your rear hand on top, the lead hand on the bottom. And then we roll that right hand up. And as we shift forward, we push that invisible ball forward. Then we turn the left hand palm up and we pull back toward our hip. Exhale, right hand in front, push a ball forward. Inhale, left hand palm up, pull back to your hip. Exhale, shift the weight. And inhale, shift the weight and turn the waist. Exhale, rolling the ball forward. And inhale, pulling it back. Exhale. And inhale. And once you've got it, let your mind sort of drop into the movement, getting that primary Tai Chi benefit called moving meditation. Really letting yourself just sort of ride that slow breath, that back and forth movement. Let's do one more. Draw it back. Come out one more time. Turn to the front, hands on the cloud, and float all the way down. Pulling down the heavens. Inhale, reach up one time. Exhale through the mouth. Relax your arms down by your sides. Pause for a moment. Be aware of the body. Do a little compare and contrast. How's the body feeling now compared to those previous check ins? Be aware of your breath and your mind. When you're ready, take a big breath in. Let it out through the mouth and relax. Okay, let's chat one more time. Let me know, how was that? That's the open-ended question I had in my mind. How was that for you? Didn't you enjoy those exercises? Were they too complicated? Were they too simple? What do you say, Fiona?
I love the movements, but I had a question about the foot placement in this last one,
Yeah.
how to get to the right one, because it felt like what I was doing was not, my body wasn't happy with my
Yeah.
stance.
Yeah.
So to know exactly how to place the feet and how far apart and would
Great.
help.
Let me give you a couple of possible answers. So, in general, the main rule is front foot points forward, back foot points off at 45 degrees. If the back foot is off too much, now we're doing something weird. So this is kind of a nice front oriented stance.
And
And
how far apart Are they hip distance apart? If you
Yes.
were, okay.
For my class, I recommend you're about hip width wide and about hip width
Uh,
forward and back. So this is a nice balanced stance. Some people will then prefer be a little narrower. I don't. And some people, if your hips don't turn, you can try being a little wider. And then just like when we did the basic version, you can really feel that. So those are some ideas. Does that start to help speak to what you're asking?
yeah, it is basically the distance between the feet, no matter if they're forward or backwards. So I'll work with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
and just experiment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
But the less on a tightrope you are, probably the better. Yeah. And then I love the ocean and the swimming references. Yeah. So this is a great season if you're in North America like me to incorporate the water imagery because we probably need all of that that we can get, those of us living in drier places. So that's wonderful. Any other responses or questions, or how did those exercises feel? Okay, groovy. So this is principle two. Principle one, what was it? Oh, let me remember. Oh, yeah, make it your own. Principle number two, keep it simple, sweetie. KISS. Or when they taught me this back in like some business training, it was keep it simple, stupid. But we don't talk like that anymore. Okay, guys. So keep it simple, sweetie. And what this refers to is uh, when I first started learning Tai Chi, one of the ways you could do that was you could go to the park and then you just try to follow along as they do the entire 108 moves of the form. And there you are in the park, fumbling your way through the ancient healing art of Tai Chi. This is only like 6 moves in of the 108 moves of the form, but there you are following along, all this stuff. And a lot of people, the reason I put this principle in, keep it simple, is a lot of people start their Tai Chi journey and then they get thrown into a class where there's so much coming at you that it's actually overwhelming. And instead of this sense of like, oh, wow, I'm an ocean wave, cool. In class, you're like, oh, heck, what do I do next? I got to move my feet. I just figured out where my hands are. So um, I always felt when people took a Tai Chi class, what they were really looking for was a Qigong class, which are usually, Qigong is a simpler art where it's usually just one movement at a time and you get to slow down and groove. So when learning Tai Chi, what I suggest is that you learn in a way that takes the individual movements of the form that comes from this long and involved training in martial arts, actually, and you take those and digest them piece by piece. And in that way, we'll get the feeling that we're really looking for, which is this health and this flow and meditative state. Um, and slowly by slowly, this will bring us to the place where we could go to the park and follow the guy through the 108 moves. So this is principle two. Keep it simple. Okay, this is part of the advertisement, right? If you take my course, then I do that for you. I, like a mama bird, I chew the stuff up and then I give it to you parcel by parcel. Um, there's some imagery for you as well, since we were on the topic of imagery. Um, but even if you don't take my course, if you're going to a different Tai Chi teacher or going to a yoga class or something like that, these are principles you can take with you and use to really get the most, extract the most from these sacred arts. One of the reasons why the culture of just go to the park and follow the guy through the form developed was because a lot of the time these folks only spoke Chinese. And so there wasn't a way to teach these American students except for, okay, follow along. There's also a very old tradition of keeping the practices secret. And if you persevere, then you're worthy of learning them. So we're in a different eon than that. We start out with the fundamental assumption that you're worthy. And then we go from there, and the learning gets a lot easier. So you can take that with you into any old paradigm, hierarchical, patriarchal construct bullshit, and you can num 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 eat it up for yourself piece by piece and have fun the whole way. So these are principles number one. Uh, Make it your own. And even with this one, if you're finding like, wait, he said turn that hand over. I don't get it. My hand doesn't turn over. Okay, fine. So for today, you've made it your own. You didn't turn over your hand. That's like, are you having fun? Are you being an ocean? Awesome, dude. You got the benefits of Tai Chi, right? So then keep it simple. So maybe your goal for yourself is, oh, well, I'll go back and watch the video and see what the heck he's talking about with turn that hand over. And you get one thing at a time. The last principle, we won't get to do an exercise for today, but I'll hand it to you verbally, and then we'll just have a brief check-in if we need one, and we'll finish up because we're hitting the end of our time. But the last principle is embrace neuroplasticity. So these go in order. One, make it your own. Do football exercises. Have fun. Two, keep it simple. So as you're absorbing these pearls of wisdom from the tradition, like this one, Dragon Rolls the Pearl, uh, literally absorbing the pearl of the tradition, um, then you will be able to go into the moves that are a little complicated, where we start to move our feet in coordination with our hands and go through these strings of exercises where we're making shapes that your body has perhaps not ever made in its life or even wanted to make before. So at that point, what I found for a lot of students is we'll get to the point, and some of them, they'll even have learned four moves in the form, and they'll get to a move that's just hard. Their body and brain just doesn't quite get it. And at this point is when you embrace neuroplasticity. So that feeling that says, oh, this sucks, this is hard. It's like it kind of like a small cramp in your brain. Learn to think of that as the sensation of growing new neural connections, growing new links between your brain cells. So I know that's not the actual sensation, right? You can't feel your brain cells, they tell me. Um, they numb to do brain surgery, they numb your head, but then they don't have to numb your brain. It doesn't have any little sensors. It is the sensors. That's weird. Um, so, but we could think, they say one of the best ways to protect your brain health is like learning new things. But it's not if you're already a math person, like doing another Sudoku doesn't seem to do it. It's being a math person and then starting to learn to play the piano at 56. And when you do that, you'll experience this cramp in your brain. And that is the feeling of the type of learning that is neuroprotective. So, as you go through my course, as you go through whatever course, maybe it's not even Tai Chi, as you go learning pickleball, think of when that brain cramp comes on, you should have a celebration because you have gotten to the neuroplasticity. You can do all of this, and then once you get, oh, that's groovy, no brain cramps involved. So once you get there, principle three is you want to start creatively making opportunities for some brain cramps. Okay, so these are my three principles. One, make it your own. Two, keep it simple. Three, not have a brain cramp. Oh, embrace neuroplasticity. And this is all to encourage you to come to the 4-week online course called Tai Chi for Beginners. Some of you are already members of my Tai Chi Academy, so you will be there whether you uh, put much effort into it or not. It'll show up in your archive. But if you know someone who would benefit from learning Tai Chi, they're looking, oh, how do I make a low impact benefit to my health? How do I start to preserve some of my cognitive function and my balance at the same time as getting a mild cardiovascular workout? Gosh, if only there was such a thing that was also meditating at the same time. Geez, it's Tai Chi, you guys. They've been looking for Tai Chi all along. And if these principles seem like a way that they might be able to learn, we're going to, over the course of just 4, 5-ish weeks, there's like a pre-lesson on there, and then I'll basically break it up into 4 lessons that are on-demand video. Um, we're going to learn this short form of Tai Chi that then people can have with them for the rest of their lives. So that link is now in your chat box. I have to update this landing page, but it's good enough. And you and your friends can all sign up. But even if you don't do that, we had a good class today. And I would love to hear if you have any final questions or comments as we finish up our practice together.
Just thank you, Fashion. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, real pleasure. Yay, thank you. And thank you, old friends and new friends. But it's nice to see some familiar faces on here that I haven't seen for a while. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. This class will go up on my YouTube for a week for the people that like signed up through the little portal and then didn't get to come this morning. They'll get sent to my YouTube. So you could send this to anybody, and then it'll come off my YouTube and it'll go into the members only section. So if you want to do it again after a week, you gotta pay the price of $21 a month. It's actually pretty good. I spend more than that on coffee. So, um, excellent. Thanks, Kim. Is that my Kim, the PT, or is that a different Kim? What Kim is this that I'm talking to? So possessive. Is that our Molly? Is that my Kim? Is that my Moki? Anyway, all right, folks. Well, this has been really fun. You probably have like my email if you got here, so you got the stream. So if you need to contact me if you have any questions about this, send me a little note. Oh, not my Kim. Okay, well, your own Kim. I hope you have a great life. We'll all be our own person. Principle one, make it your own. All right, sovereign children of wonder. I'll see you around.